Welcome to the Wellness Lounge talk by Blue Sky Wellness. I'm your host, Keisha Schahaff, a self development life coach. And today we're going to have an amazing guest. His name is Dante. So please stay tuned for this amazing live talk that I had on Instagram, which will be linked to my podcast as well. So I'm very excited for you to have a listen and to share your views and to give support and look forward to the following lives that I'm going to be hosting very soon, every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. See you there.
Still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, okay. All right, so I'm just going to introduce you a bit. So Dante, he's a holistic practitioner and energy healer. He does amazing music and herbology, plant-based lifestyle. And from what I see also on your platform, you also do retreats as well, yeah?
Yeah, I do local retreats. I'm working on
Okay,
uh,
okay.
other types of retreats, but yeah. hmm
And that's great because I feel like, in these, especially in these times on our planet, we just need to keep that balance by, the work that we're doing, sharing our light and encouraging people and just creating, positivity and love. And I think it's beautiful, the work that you're doing. But can you like share a little bit and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Now, when I was a child, my mother and also my father, a little bit later in my life, had a big influence on where I am today. My mom,
Okay.
she grew up in Roxbury, Massachusetts, and so that's a pretty rough area. And she had a hard time living there. She had some good times, but definitely some challenging times with her mom. Um, and so that led her, she moved out when she was 18. That, in a way, led her to find different alternative ways to heal the mind and body. So uh, like, she did Buddhism, and she got into Reiki. She was into energy healing. She got into meeting all different types of practitioners, people from acupuncturists to chiropractors to shamans. She started to work with Andean shamans at a time. She did breath work. So she was surrounding herself with metaphysical people, psychics and mediums, shamans, to holistic practitioners such as chiropractors. And so I got a chance to be surrounded by these type of people. And so all my childhood, I was going to events. I was talking to some of these practitioners and having my own healing experience. And that made me have a different type of childhood. Where if I had like a allergy issue, I wouldn't just take some pharmaceutical. I was taking homeopathic remedies, and that just helps. That definitely helped the allergy stuff. I was having a hard time when I came to Virginia. So just
Okay.
living an alternative lifestyle made me want to share my tools, share different ways to help people. And I got into personal training, yoga, massage, the qigong, sound healing. That's definitely a big part of my practice.
Okay.
And yeah, the tools is what I found that really helps transform people, and doing it on a consistent basis. That's
Okay.
super key. So that's been my biggest thing, and a person who has issues with focusing. I was in special ed in middle school and parts of high school. When I got out of, I was having some issues in high school in Virginia, but then like I left in the middle of 10th grade, and they were like, "You don't need special ed." I'm like, "Okay, sure." But in the beginning, in middle school or early or late elementary school, They said I had ADD and had a speech impediment. And so I had to work through those. And I found that through meditation, through breath work, and the consistency of that has helped me tremendously overcome that. And it's continuously helping me, and just self-study has really helped me overcome learning disabilities, or just the label of learning disability. Finding actual passion, being passionate about learning has helped. So that's basically my life.
Wow.
That's been my journey.
Wow, that's really amazing. To be open to this type of experiences from when you were a young kid. I feel like that is that you were so lucky for that, because that is what a lot of us don't get.
Mm.
So now you're able to bring this to the community and share this way. Is really a gift. And to hear that, you've been able to, like work your way through speech therapy and ADD,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just using the holistic ways of, like, balancing yourself or healing yourself. I think that's incredible.
Thank
Um,
you.
I,
Thank
I
you so
really
much.
love the energy work, especially for me as a Reiki master. I practice energy, anything with energy. I love it because, I can feel very deeply. Sometimes it's overwhelming how much you can feel.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
and if you dare go to a therapist, they probably will tell you have like bipolar or something. Um,
That's very true. Yeah.
but I love that you practice Qigong.
Hmm.
That's one of the things that I'm very much interested in. Luckily, we have so many people who are giving out information on YouTube and so forth, so we can practice these things. Because where I'm located on the island in Antigua and Barbuda, we don't have too many of this type of practices, or really only recently there's this two persons I met that are offering these practices, and I was very fortunate to join in a retreat where I was able to meet these people. So can you tell us a little bit more about the Qigong practice and what benefits have you noticed that has brought for you?
Absolutely. So, Qigong, Qi means energy, Gong is the practice of or cultivation, and you're cultivating the energy that is inside of you by using your attention, your focus, you're using breath, and
Yeah.
you're using your imagination. And so, and the movements are correlated to the movement of the meridians, so the energy lines. So we all
Right.
have energy lines, and and Qigong is based off of the five element theory, the yin yang
Okay.
theory, and
Mm-hmm.
it's connected to Chinese medicine.
Yeah.
So when you do these practices, you're moving energy that is in your organs, and these organs are connected to elements, and you're balancing the yin yang energy within those elements. So you have
Right.
a light and a dark,
Right.
and that's what the purpose of qigong is. Qigong, there's a lot of different connections, meaning that you have qigong in a way at the top. It's almost like the book. Think about a book is the qigong, and then you have chapters. So you have the eight brigades,
Right.
or you have tai
Right.
chi, or you have meridian. So there's lots of different types of qigong.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
and so you can learn them either through a teacher or through videos,
Right.
and then lots of practice, and the benefits are our health physically,
Mm-hmm.
movement of the joints, realignment, balance, coordination, uh, all benefits that deals with meditation. So being calm, breathing deeper, breathing better. Um, I said balance coordination. So yeah, there's, and then just the health, and then all the health benefits that involves the organs.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. So Qigong really sounds like it's a life practice because it sounds like it has so many different parts to it that can really take us to another level within ourselves.
Right.
And just to really basically have an understanding of it, it sounds like it really takes some study and maybe even observation within yourself to see what is showing up for me, in doing this movement, in incorporating the breath with it. And, when you goes into movement now, like I believe that movement is such an important element for us to, or aspect for us to get into, just to keep energy flowing within our bodies, right?
Right.
And it's definitely one of the parts to our holistic lifestyle in making sure that we can be healthy, right? So when you're practicing movements, what other things are you doing for yourself than Qigong that you find is highly beneficial for you in maintaining health within your body?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good question. I do, I have a background in personal training, in yoga, qigong, massage therapy, um, and I've been learning recently Pilates. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, I know that it's important to move your body in different ways and different movement patterns to help with the
Right.
brain and to help strengthen the bones and to help with
Okay.
the all of the hormones. So strength, and then getting the blood moving, getting the heart rate going, all that is super important. So I personally love to dance. I'll either go to ecstatic dance or I'll just dance by myself. It's a way,
Yeah.
it's a free form expression. You're not really thinking logically about how you need to move. You're just
Right.
flowing. And so I love music. I love the aspect of music, the vibration, and just the amount of expressions that you can do with your body. It's amazing. So I've always loved to dance, even when I was younger. That's one important aspect of my
Yeah.
life. And then I would say that doing some sort of pulling action is really important. So pulling using your back muscles, because when you do yoga or even qigong, you can engage the muscles that are around the scapula. You can engage the lats. You can engage different parts of the back. But there's something about doing a pull-up or pulling yourself in different directions. It has so many benefits. It can help you with your posture, and it is needed. I think we in our society we're sitting a lot, we're not climbing trees. These are things that where
Yeah.
people back in the day, a long time ago, would do on a regular basis. They were outside either pulling something out of the garden or lifting something, carrying something, or going up on a tree reaching for an
Right.
apple. So these are movements that are lacking, and so we have gyms and calisthenics, things that where these are in a way substitutes for that. At
Yeah.
the same time, it's like, yeah, if you have your own garden, if you live off grid, you're doing all these things. So
Exactly.
yeah, and I think Pilates has been really nice because knowing that everyone has a center in right in the middle, and we have to find and strengthen that center.
Yeah.
So most people are external, so they live on the external, like their hip, their IT bands, their TFL, all the muscles on the side of their legs are really tight. The
I see.
shoulders are tight. The neck on the side of the neck is very tight.
Right.
And so there's not,
True.
and their belly is too soft and too weak. Their pelvic floor is weak. So all
Yeah.
these
That makes
muscles in
sense.
the center needs to be strengthened.
Right.
And there's different
Right.
ways to do that. Pilates is good, calisthenics. But
Right. Right.
everything I think of energy, I think the physical and then the metaphysical. So physically we need to align, strengthen the body, and then metaphysical is that we need to align energetically, be in our center, be inside,
Yeah.
be with the breath.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That really leaves some deep thought with all of that, and a reflection to see one's own life and what we are doing. So I just want to invite anyone who might be with us, who have joined. If you have any questions, any comments, you're free to, share. But one of the things I notice with myself is that I can be pretty lazy when it comes to exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if it's like a work,
Yeah.
I don't really want to engage in it.
Right. Yeah.
So it has to be fun for me, you know. So I try to find ways where I'm kind of tricking my mind because I don't want to believe that I'm exercising.
Right.
But I want to believe that I'm having fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy being in nature. So I do a lot of hiking in the bushes, in the hills. And some of the things I try to do is, while I'm hiking, the soil just looks so inviting. So I take my shoes off, I put it in my bag, and I'm walking barefoot. So I'm grounding at the same time as I'm walking. And, like sometimes energy just moves me and I would just start dancing as I'm walking through in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel like you got a workout just from doing that, right? Because like at the end of it, your body feels so good, you feel refreshed, you don't feel depressed, you just feel completely like in alignment with yourself because one, you're in nature. Two, you're, no shoes is on, so you're getting some good minerals from that soil coming into your body through the feet. The sun is shining, so you're connecting with like basically a lot of elements, and the wind is blowing on your skin. And one of the things that I practice is wearing loose clothing that is very breathable. Just so because our skin is breathing, our organs are breathing. But what I'm getting at is these are practices that work for me. So I'm incorporating movement in my practice, and I'm also, connecting, with nature in a way. What are some of your practices that you can share with us that are very grounding for you, and you notice some really good benefits that has come out because of that for you?
Absolutely. I would say the biggest one would be meditation, breathing practices. So when you sit in meditation, people might have the misconception that there's no thought, that you're trying not to think. And when you say the word try, there's a level of effort that you have to put in. And with awareness meditation, just being aware, there
Okay.
is no effort. You're being present with everything that is happening. So you might have different thoughts, emotions, sensations in your body, but you're only being an observer. You're observing the experience of just sitting. So
Right.
you shift your breath by breathing from the diaphragm. When you breathe from the diaphragm, which is located right by or around your solar plexus region, you begin to slow down your heart rate, and you also are able to slow down your brain waves and go into that parasympathetic nervous system state, the rest and relax. So you trigger your
Right.
vagus nerve, you get calmer and calmer. Then you'll be able to go within and just be very, very aware of what is happening. So
Right.
you might have a point where you might have this thought come up that is from the past, or a thought that comes up from the future,
Right.
and
Right.
you're just completely present with it, going back to what is real, which is what is real is the breath is happening, thoughts are happening. We don't want to judge what thoughts are happening when we say,
Right.
oh, this is a good thought, this is a bad thought. Then you get into that cycle. You move away from that cycle of just saying thoughts are happening, emotions are
Right. Right.
happening, breath is happening, and you come into a level of just being present, so that
Right.
when you do meditation every day, let's say 5-10 minutes, you get up to maybe 20 minutes a day, but even 5 minutes a day is great. Then you can apply this type of mentality, or this way of being, into other situations in your life. So
Yeah.
when you're driving, someone cuts you off, instead of getting into your own head, you say, this person cut me off, this person doesn't care about me, this person didn't see me. You're more just like, this person went into this lane and I
Right.
was there.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
So it can be applied in many different ways. And I think that meditation is a very important tool, because we're in the age of distractions. We're in the age of mind, and technology
Mm-hmm.
is a very powerful thing, but it just enhances what is already there. So we we see things online. There's just information overload, and we have our algorithms that will basically attune to what you look for, what you search, and in a way, we have the algorithm within our own mind, within our own head, of
Yeah.
what we've been programmed by through our childhood, or what we've been exposed to. So we already have like an algorithm in our own brain, and so we got to go in there and delete some
Yeah.
files. We have to be able to get rid, and change the way that we think, and
Mm-hmm.
just through being aware and simple awareness, just being completely aware of your mind and aware of
Yeah.
what's happening. That's the start. That will open you up to many possibilities and things that you may not have thought was possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. That is really beautiful, and that's really deep. Just, I feel like in any transformation that we can do for ourselves, we first have to start with awareness.
Yeah.
And in that awareness is where we can truly see ourselves the way we are. Many times I feel like just walking as an autopilot, or even driving. There are times I remember I would be driving to somewhere. I got there, but I don't even know how I got there.
Yeah.
Because like I went somewhere, I traveled somewhere, and I'm not even conscious that I did that. But something else is like guiding the way. So I got there safely,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure how I got there.
Right. Mhm.
And just that alone, I feel like that's a practice too, because I've observed myself that I left myself.
Mhm.
and and now I'm back in presence with myself. I just continue being, aware of that. So also just being gentle with myself and not disappointed that, I took a time out and I didn't even know how I got from point A to B.
Right. Right. Self-compassion.
So
Self-compassion is key.
I think sometimes that's just funny.
Right. It is interesting in that way, and I think, like you said, compassion is important in this journey, because when you say you're gonna want to transform and change your life, there has been
Mhm.
so much programming within the mind, and
Yeah.
it's unbelievable, things that we're conscious of and things that we're not. And
Yeah, so true.
yeah, when you are on this path, you quote unquote have mistakes or setbacks, and all of those quote unquote setbacks or mistakes are a part of the learning lesson, a part of the journey, so that you can continue to evolve and help other people shift.
Yeah.
And really the young kids, the younger generation, your kids, kids around, they will make less, um, they will suffer less.
Yeah.
That's the key, is that we need to bring the suffering down
Yeah.
dramatically.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Dramatically. Yeah.
I agree with that. One of the terms that you would hear, like some of our teachers would say to us, because I've been meditating for a while, and one of the things that my teacher would say to me is, be the eye of the storm.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're just in the middle and everything, all the chaos, everything is happening, but you can just be present with that. So what that has taught me is that you can't really change any situation. You can't change anything.
Right.
Sometimes I even feel like I can't even change me,
Yeah.
but I feel like I can just see me and observe me. And just by, like you said, that meditation, practicing awareness, for some reason it gives like a space, like there's a space that is opened up, just being present with yourself. And in that space is where you can have some easement from the suffering that you're feeling within yourself because of that experience.
Right.
And also like observing what thoughts am I generating that is creating the emotion of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Many times I find that an experience, or most of the suffering for me, is usually a relationship.
Oh yeah.
And it's not even necessarily a love relationship, but just a relationship with people in general. Um, and we can go into imagination thinking that this person is feeling this, or because they said this particular thing to us, and then we are taking it in, and the suffering that we feel is so enormous. And a lot of times it's the mind amplifying things and making it more than what it really is.
Right.
And then that in itself creates such a deep sense of suffering inside. And
Right.
then, if you become reactive with it now, that's where you start a drama, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm.
So it
Yeah.
brings us back to awareness again. Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Relationships are, it's where the work truly begins and continues. Honestly, it continues because we're in relationships all the time. Every single interaction that you have, either if it's business, work, like everything, you're in some sort of relationship, and I think that relationships is where we get truly tested, and that's why these practices are so important, because you not only affect yourself, but you affect other people.
Yeah.
The way that you respond, it has a very powerful effect on another person. And with that, I think of like two sides to it, because like on one hand, you have to be completely responsible for what you say and what you do and your actions, and at the same time that you're not responsible for other people's reactions, or you're not responsible for how they take it. So there's an important responsibility for what you say and what you do. And so that's where the meditation practices come in. That's where changing your communication style comes in. That's where the deep childhood work comes in,
Yeah.
so that you can be fully responsible, and at the same time know that people may take you out of context. People might get
Yeah.
triggered
Yeah.
and not even hear what you actually said. And in those cases and scenarios, I think people try and be like, oh, like I made this person upset or I made this person angry.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no. We contribute to the experience, and at the same time, you're not making anyone feel anything.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
but there is a deep level of responsibility, and you contribute, and
Mm-hmm.
and there's also, I think, like always a level of harm that people go through. Like,
Yeah.
let's say you accidentally say something or do something, that person will take it in a certain way, but then like people can take that, let's say, issue or that problem, and then just reminisce on it, think
Yeah.
about it over and over and over again, and then that causes even more affliction, more pain, more
Absolutely. Yeah.
suffering.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely deep when it comes to relationships, and we
Yeah.
just have to be aware of these different aspects of relationships, and again, take super responsibility for what's going on inside, so that you can, yeah, there's something called the yamas and niyamas, and so it's like the do's and don'ts. It's like the moral and values of yoga, and it's a
Okay.
part of the eight limbs of yoga. And so
Okay.
there's this one that deals with truth, like
Mm-hmm.
like like being honest. And when you are honest with yourself, then you don't have to like regret what you said. But you also have
I
to be, the
like
first
that.
one is kind, so non-violence.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be loving.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to be truthful and honest, and you also want to be kind.
Yeah.
And that
Wow.
is that's a crazy balance to be. It's wild.
Um,
Very. So we have to be able to be honest, be truthful, and loving and caring and compassionate, so that we don't feel like we have to apologize the next time. Like,
yeah.
do it right the first time. And now, if you,
Mm-hmm.
okay, make a mistake, sure, apologize, but do it right the first time.
Yeah.
And that will help when you're aware,
Yeah.
when you're kind, and when you're.
Wow, I really love that. That you've given some really deep and beautiful nuggets. One of the things one of the things that you said that I really love, which I think is going to be a new quote for me, is be responsible but not responsible.
Yeah.
Responsible but not responsible.
Well, yeah.
So like just hearing it like that, like it's confusing.
Yeah.
But it's really true. You know, you have to be responsible for yourself, but you're not responsible for what another person is thinking or doing or action or anything like that. You know, you're responsible for your action, for your doing, right? And in those principles that you mentioned in the yoga principles, just being honest, truthful, you know, like that's so important. If you be your best self, there's
Yeah.
no apologies, there's no regrets, right? So I think that is that. Wow, you've really shared some awesome nuggets, and I do know that you have, you know, another appointment to go to, so I don't want to
Yeah,
keep
yeah, in
you
10
much
minutes or so.
longer.
Hmm. Yeah, in 10
I
minutes.
want to keep you forever because I feel like I can have this conversation with you for a long time.
Yeah,
Um,
we can do this again.
what is that most important thing that you would like to leave on this live? Because I'm going to save it. What is the most important message you feel that you're channeling right now that you can share?
I would say to have an awareness practice and stick with it
Yes.
for the rest of your life. For the rest
Yes.
of your life, stick with that awareness practice. If it's either walking and being out in nature, meditation, a yoga practice,
Yeah.
qigong, something, do it and stick with it, because you will come out better than you were yesterday. Like, you will be a little bit more shinier. You'll be a little bit more clearer, and it will help you through difficult times. Like difficult times will will always come, and peaceful times will always come. If we
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
we just are searching for the peaceful times, the good times, and we're waiting for the good times, and we're always chasing the good times, then that's also where we create suffering. We want to
Yes.
be ready for the hard, the challenging times, and
Mm.
awareness, just be completely present is the
Yes.
first step. And getting all the other tools are really important, but awareness is super key. Expanding your awareness more and more is it's the name of the game. It's a part of life. It's
Yeah.
like if you want to know like what is the part of the game, like the rule book, it's like just be aware.
Mhm.
So we need that.
That is awesome. That is really beautiful. This is really great, Dante. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Yeah, this
You've
has been a pleasure.
been very, yeah, you've been very helpful to me, and hopefully, like others will be able to take something from this. And do you have any musical instruments you want to play? I
Oh
know I'm
yeah,
putting you on the spot, but if you want to, like,
totally.
1 minute.
Yeah,
Huh?
I do have a bowl. I do have a
Okay.
flute, but it's in my car. Next time I'll bring it out. But I have
Okay.
this metal singing bowl, and I'll just
Yeah.
strike it, and I'll tone. I'll use my voice. Okay. So
Thank
we
you.
can go ahead. You're welcome. Let's go ahead, take a deep breath in through the nose, deep breath out through the mouth. Good. Another deep breath in, deep breath out. Good. One more time, deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, we'll do 3 ohms. Deep breath in. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wow, that was so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much.
Shanti, Shanti. Many blessings to you, to your
Many
audience,
blessings.
mine, to everyone in the world. May we find peace, harmony, love, and with that, we will come up with new creative ideas to help each other. It'll
Yeah,
open up many, many possibilities when we have peace, love, and harmony.
yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you to those who were able to join us. And we'll see you next time.
Yes.
Have a great rest of your day, Dante.
Thank you. Many
Okay.
blessings. Peace.
Bye. Peace and love.